while on my walk, I was just sitting here thinking like things I wasn't taught as a young man. And I think about it, if I known these things, it would help my life so much. So, I figured I'll go ahead and share because I'm sure it's a lot of young men that were like me who grew up, wishing they knew this, or a lot of guys around my age or even younger wish they knew some of these things. So I'm going to share them with you today. So it's three major things I feel like I wish I've known, which would have made my life so much easier and probably had me in a better place. So just the starters, I wish I would have known, how to handle and deal with my mental health, how to stay focused on having a healthier life mentally, making sure that I talk with someone about my issues, not walk around with this manly man attitude or mentality, but more so, being more open and vulnerable. That's one of the key things. I grew up in an environment with, a lot of men in the family who kind of taught me the wrong way. And it's no knock to them because I'm sure they didn't understand or know as well. So wishing I knew that, how to deal with my emotions, how to talk to people, how to treat women, how to work on the things that bothered me and not tuck them in and hold it in and try to deal with it on my own, or just talk to my friends and my buddies, people who probably dealt with the similar or same trauma or upbringing as I have. So that's one of the main things. Second thing, I wish I would have known and understanding how to deal with credit, finances, my economics. That one is a real big one. A lot of cats and a lot of women, a lot of people just don't know how to deal with money. They don't talk about it. It wasn't conversations around the dinner table. It wasn't like the thing that everyone kind of grew up around. At least people in where I was brought up. I didn't understand credit. I didn't understand, good debt, bad debt, how to make money outside of working a job. I didn't understand none of that. So that's one of the main things. Understanding that the more financially literate you are and the more educated you are, we like to call loopholes, scams, and all these other things. There's so many things that we should have known or could have, found out from our family members or reading certain books. A lot of us didn't understand it. Our family didn't talk about it. With that, I think I did grow up going to the library, and I try to teach my children this now with having access to education and free books and everything like that. We got to stop reading the stuff that's just simple to understand or stuff we like. Begin to kind of grow your mind and train your mind. Exercise your brain like you exercise your body. It's things out here that we don't know and we don't understand, but we can easily gain knowledge and understanding of if we begin to train our minds and start reaching out and reading things. We kind of go through life just living. We're not really using the things that are accessible to us because we're not taught it. None of my uncles, none of my parents have ever spoken to me and said, hey, read this book about finances, or let me talk to you about money. The most I know was spend cash. Cash was king. I never understood that you can use credit to create businesses, that your money makes money. Your money can have babies. I never knew that. I never understood that. I don't know nothing about investments as a kid. I don't know anything about leveraging, crowdfunding, with things like that. I wish I would have known. And now that I know, I teach my children. I teach my children about assets, liabilities. We all know about bills. We all know about debt. We all know about that. But to actually know what is a liability, what is an asset, being taught that my house is an asset, it's not. Wish I would have known that growing up. See, a lot of times we think we know everything just based off the limited information we're taught from people who aren't rich, people who aren't successful, who haven't done it much. I want to say one of the last things I would share with you guys, as far as something I wish I would have known, was the power of business. Was how to, not just create a business and work in a business, like start another job, pretty much what it's called, but to actually create something that you can turn around and either sell, something that you could leverage and create more of, give you true financial freedom. Those are things I wish I was taught, reading books, how important it is to educate yourself after school. We was taught to get good grades in school, but we weren't taught that school was created to manufacture workers. But we were naturally entrepreneurs prior to school. We were naturally owners of things before school. All I was taught was go to school, get a good job. And that good old statement I learned from my mom years ago, well, you better not quit that good job. I've created and made more money outside of school in a single paycheck than I ever have at a job. I've made a year's salary in one paycheck off one deal that cost me maybe 5 to 6 hours of work. No company will ever pay you that. We learn retirement. We learn time is money, trading money for time. Well, trading time for money and not realizing time is way more valuable than money. I wasn't taught that you can create money from nowhere. I wasn't taught that you can, I was taught money don't grow on trees. It might not grow on trees, but it grow in your mind. I didn't learn growing up that there's different levels to life. Everything we see around us comes from somebody's imagination. So not knowing these things and not growing up being taught these things puts you kind of in a position in life where you're behind. And I was behind. It wasn't until I started really educating myself, being coached by people, reading a lot of books, that I realized, so many different ways I've missed out and so many different things that I've missed out on as a young man. And it's crazy that I'm so far behind the learning curve. Something I should have learned 20, 30 years ago. But even learning it now, I'm on track to make way more money than I ever have in my lifetime. So, like I said, the joys of life of, learning these different things is the fact that you can make unlimited money. Is the fact that you can have unlimited freedom and time. Is the fact that you can go see the world. Just a little something I wanted to share while I was out on my walk. I hope this helps somebody. I hope this is something that, seeps into your mind and you just get out here and go get it, man. Pick up a book, pick up a couple books and start exploring and understanding. If you're like me, you didn't grow up with your father around, didn't grow up under, the guidance of people with a bunch of money and a bunch of education to share with you, this should help.